You may have heard about this song that came out recently called Show Them, a collaboration between BAND-MAID and The Warning. I heard about it. It was my proper introduction to BAND-MAID. And I have to say, they showed me. And now I'm here for more. Someone recommended Blooming to me, so here we are. I couldn't find a professional live recording, so I'm checking out the music video instead. And before we get started, I am compelled to let you know that I tend to pause quite a bit in these videos. And now, the maids.
地獄か赤い月がそっとさやくやめられないやめたくない I cannot do it 止められない止めたくない I cannot be stopped どこまででも追いかける吹けない雪が桜へとひらひらと心に散るなんだときめかな景気に一歩踏み込んで真実が見えるまでまだ足りないよつくような想いがあの頃のまま叫ぶほどいて繋いでほら咲かせてよ Blooming
Okay, that was a great start. It was very interesting. Like I don't know how I would come in with expectations given how little I've listened to BAND-MAID, but this was somehow not like it came out unexpected. Also, I appreciate that they have translated it and put subtitles, so people like me can know what the hell is going on. Now, admittedly, my attention was a bit split between everything, so I might have to spend some time collecting my thoughts. Alright, gang, normally I check out the lyrics as far as I've heard them and try to tie them to the music that I'm hearing for a more complete understanding of the song. Now, I try to spend some time interpreting the lyrics of the song, and my machine is getting overheated. The text of the song, which is mostly in Japanese, which is why I'm using this translation here, is beautiful. I quite enjoy the way that at least this first bit that I have checked is written. But it's also full of metaphors, which makes my brain try to tell me 3 different stories at the same time using the same words, and that spirals out of control very quickly. So I considered how to go about communicating that for a bit, and I have decided that I simply won't. Let me tell you about my impression of the music, and then I can get lost in the lyrics once I have heard more of them. The song starts with a few hits on the hi-hat, which are like a soft way of saying, hey, the song has started. It gently catches your attention, and then the song traps you with the guitars building tension for nearly 20 seconds. I don't have music education, so I won't talk out of my butt about what's happening with chord progression and whatnot, but my felt sense of the instrumental intro is that of tense unease for about 20 seconds. It's lovely. Listen to it. Keeps going. Right? How do you feel? There's no resolution. Up to this point, it just goes. And then they finally resolve it. Let's go back a few seconds so you can go through the tension and then hear the resolution. Builds. And finally. At least that's how it works for me. Like I just keep waiting for something. Like something's missing up until that last strum there. And if you think they're done, that bit that they just used to relieve the tension, that's the new tension now. Listen to how she's playing the same thing, but gradually speeding it up, building up anticipation. I absolutely love this guitar bit. Oh, so good. So good. And that's the first verse. Then it speeds up, as you heard, going into the pre-chorus, where the vocals take over. The vocalist is just machine gunning lyrics, which goes well with the lyrics themselves, this first bit. that really sounds like something you would be thinking or speaking at a rapid pace. And that's exactly how she's singing it. They also changed her voice a little bit to make sure that you know to shift your focus to it. Then at some point during the pre-chorus, the drums pick up just before the lyrics slow down, and that's also when the guitars stop playing for a couple of seconds, which creates a vocal contrast for the sonic explosion that is the chorus coming in. It's beautiful. Let's hear it. Drums, no guitar, chorus. I like this song. The chorus itself seems to be all the noises all at once. At some point around the middle, when she sings the Mada Mada, they have a build up and release just in the middle of the chorus, and then they carry on. And then around the end, the drums and the bass go hum, and at the end of the chorus, it just goes quiet again, which is as far as we've listened to. So let's hear the chorus again. Boom. Busy, busy. Now don't tell me that you hear that and you don't expect something, because I certainly do. And why am I telling you all those things that you can hear for yourself? Well, that's because I'm excited. The composition of this song so far warms my heart, and I wanted to communicate that. And also, there's no way they do in verse 2 what they did in verse 1. I know. Like, what they did in verse 1 seems so very specific that I don't think they're gonna repeat it. Let's find out. What is this? Oh, they're doing it again, actually. Wow. Okay, so they kind of did the same things that they did previously, but not. Like, they had the same bit in the verse. This. But this time they interrupted it with the other guitar. This. Like, listen, this time instead of the hi-hat, they had this, I don't even know what to call it. It's still the drum bit, and then the bass with a slide, and then they start with that beautiful guitar bit, which then they interrupt with the other guitar up to the pre-chorus, where they pick it back up, which they didn't do before that. And the pre-chorus, in terms of singing, kind of the same, but they use different words. Listen. It's like they added like a mini solo in there, some shady bit just before the pre-chorus, because why not? Now, I wouldn't say that I'm very well versed in music, but I haven't really heard anything like that before. Usually the shading is for the solos. Here it's just with the singing. Here it seems they merged what they did before in terms of transitions, but without any pause. They just went straight into the chorus, which perhaps doesn't set up the explosion to be as loud, but it definitely builds up the pace as, you know, being faster. Same as last one. And she just kept the same pace from the pre-chorus throughout the whole pre-chorus and like halfway into the into the chorus with the singing. That's I'm quite satisfied with that choice. And of course, they're building up for something else because why would they not? Oh, that was brilliant. All right, man versus lyrics round 2. This time I've got something. And of course, mine is just one possible interpretation out of many, many, many. I've basically come up with a story based on the words that I've read. I think this song is about a couple breaking up and coming back together. The whole process of it. Verse 1, Fumo Gokai is a Buddhist teaching that basically says don't speak false or harmful things. Betraying those teachings would be speaking such things. Red moon, according to the Japanese, is an ill omen, and in this song it warns the speaker about things going very bad as a result of speaking harmful things. Now, according to my interpretation, we can call this situation a toxic relationship. So presumably, the speaker of the song has gotten fed up with her partner and is about to go verbal berserk on, I'm gonna assume, him. In the pre-chorus, she starts by convincing herself that she cannot leave him. But by the end of the second line, where she says, I cannot be stopped, that sounds to me like she can't not leave him. She cannot be stopped from leaving him. And then she goes on to justify to herself why it's a good idea. The whole thing so far is very poetic. I'd stop and talk about some of the lines separately and specifically because I think they're beautiful. But that would take too much time. So, the chorus. This is where we find out she talks about being burned out and tired from the lover's game. My understanding of the rest of the chorus is that she wants to venture on and find the right person for her, which is her truth. Not enough, still more is probably a further indication about how she feels about the current relationship, where that could either be that she's dissatisfied with the relationship or her partner is not satisfied with her and she can never appease them. Release Rejoin sounds to me like a couple breaking up and then making up. Either they've done this before, I'm wrong, or there's something going on with contextual translation here. Otherwise, I don't know why she's talking about rejoining when this line and the rest, the second part of the song suggests to me that they've definitely broken up. Yes, Let Me Bloom, that's something that presumably could not have happened with the unmelting snow covering the cherry blossom, as per this line in the pre-chorus. So the unmelting snow, meaning the influence of her partner, to my understanding, must be gone, and she can finally bloom. I interpret the second verse as her saying that in order for her to get what she wants, right, to harvest the bounty, she needs to know what she's doing, but she doesn't, right? That's the path untrodden. She doesn't know that because she has no experience with it. She doesn't know how to find someone else and be with someone else because all she's ever done is be with that previous partner that she's had, if we were to very specifically define this line. It could also be that the modern dating market is very confusing and very difficult for people, so she can't find her way there. Could be that, could be many other things. Cause and effect, I must go on, sounds to me like she's referring to the process of learning how to find someone else. She keeps trying until she gets there, where trying being the cause and succeeding being the effect, or learning, so she can do it better next time. In the second pre-chorus, the speaker presents her dissatisfaction with being apart from her previous partner, and she even admits that she still believes that they can get back together. In the second chorus, whose words are different from the words in the first chorus, the speaker expresses that she's burned out from being alone this time, from being apart from her former partner. She says she's known and tried to leave him many times, but there's no use. Then she surrenders to her feelings and decides to rejoin that person that she sought to leave in the first part of the song. Great, now here's where I tie the lyrics to the musical choices. In verse 1, we have what I perceive to be the building of tension, which mirrors how the speaker of the song feels about her situation, like something needs to happen to release the tension that she's feeling. The part where the vocalist sings very quickly is the part where the speaker of the song confronts the conundrum in her mind, until she decides to leave him, and all of that climaxes in the chorus. But as I noted, the second part is musically similar to the first part, and that's exactly what's happening with the speaker of the song. First, she tries to make her new situation work, but that falls apart and the vocalist goes ballistic again. This time all the way through to nearly the end of the chorus, because the speaker of the song can't handle this new tension. She can't stop the rapid onset of her thoughts and emotions, until she eventually gives up with the words, I'll find you, feel your presence, which is where the lyrics also slow down a bit. And I have to say, this fits too well into my head. It makes me feel like I'm way off the mark. Whatever the case, I expect a solo followed up by a bridge that will make my head spin. Let's see what happens. Of course they did exactly that. Of course, that immediately after they do this, they loop it. While tying lyrics to musical choices, the song had a lot of, typical shredding, tapping, and a lot of high notes played quickly. It kind of sounds like, okay, they got back together, and now instead of telling you what's happening, how about you just hear the music and you just get an idea of what kind of chaos it is. This is kind of how we can imagine things were before the start of the song, with a lot of, rapid high noises, people arguing and all that. So we could, if we want, interpret the shredding as the two people arguing with each other. And then once they're done, far away, take me somewhere far away. Reach out, wish for more. Wish for more is the same thing she was going on at the beginning of the song. And the melody continues on, of course, says that this whole cycle just continues repeating again, right? It's the same thing happening again and again. Reach out, wish for more is the first part where she wants something more than the relationship she has. And then it goes, no matter how many times I deny it, it's inside me. But still she wants to go far away somewhere. And then it may seem like nothing, but I can't give it up. This is just going back and forth between the first part of the song and the second part of the song. And then they repeat the chorus because of course how come I didn't see that coming? They repeated the first one where she wants to go away. And then they sing again. It just goes on. The melody continues on. That's such a nice bamboozle. It's a classic. It's just a classic. Musically, unless my brain circuits are too fried to notice something, it's pretty standard. Now the bridge was nothing like the rest of the song, which is actually standard. Generally speaking, you want the bridge to be something different from the rest of the song, so it would stand out and basically recapture the attention of the listeners. So you can then do another chorus, which is the catchy bit, right, in most songs. So here they went quiet. They had a bunch of overlapping lines. It was nice, it sounded good, and it served its purpose for the song. Then the chorus, just the chorus, and then the outro sounded like a second bridge in a way. And I like the way that they ended, which is the last thing that I'm gonna play here before I dip. They had the volume of the outro kind of low, like the bridge, but at the end when the set continues, they amped it up. Like you can even hear that the way that she says the word is changed so that it stands out more. And then they picked up all the instruments, which is the final dynamics change of the song. And it sounds pretty cool. Also very representative of the song, which I always appreciate. And quiet. And that cuts through. Nice. So overall, that was a great song. I thoroughly enjoyed it, especially that first part. Thanks for the recommendation, it was a good one. Yo, take care now.